Good day everyone, Trainer Maxim with you. Thank you very much for joining me for this session. Today we're working on the hip compression. As always, Masha and I thank you a lot for your support. Thank you very much for your comments, suggestions. Super thanks, support angels. Thank you everyone for your support. Thank you. Before we start, I want you to watch three things. You might already know about them. The first thing, our beloved one, tall spine. Tall spine means that at no point you're allowing the spine to go into the full slouch position. We really want to engage the spinal muscles along the spinal column to glue all the vertebrae to one another. We do that to provide the spine with structure. When the spine has structure, all the muscles are attached to the spine, including the hip flexors. They have a very solid, stable base to pull with efficiency on their objects, in our case, the legs. Otherwise, as you know, any muscle pulls on both sides. If your hip flexor muscle pulls on the leg, but at the same time the spine collapses forward, it will do no good for your strength of the hip flexion. The hip flexion is not going to happen with good, efficient strength. Same with the shoulders. So we really want the spine to be tall at all time. You think about this by reaching up with the upper spine and reaching down with the lower spine. So that's our neutral spine. At all time, you do that. And even if sometimes we will need to crunch a little bit, it should happen through the resistance of the spinal muscles. So you keep it tall and you crunch a little bit. Yes, you're crunching, but by engaging the spinal muscles, you still provide some support to this crunching movement so that the crunch or the slouch will not be extreme. Otherwise, if you don't care about the spinal support, then you will completely collapse the spinal structure and your movement might fall apart. So that's the first thing, spine tall. The second thing, to shoulders open. Shoulders open means that we want to keep the shoulders in this position. So in a way, the shoulder is kind of tilted diagonally down to the midsection of your spine, because we're using the lower portion of the trapezius muscles, lower trapezius, and also the inner part of the blade here is kind of imprinted into your rib cage to use the serratus anteriorus muscles. In this way, we're anchoring the blades in this position, and just like with the spine case, when the blades have very stable structure, they're supported by the back muscles. All the muscles of your shoulders can pull with efficiency on your arms without leading to a complete collapse of the shoulders. Whether we're doing the L-seats or planches, we want to make sure that the shoulders are open. It will also give you more room for the bone of your arm, for the humerus, to move higher with efficiency. If the shoulders are collapsed, simply due to the anatomical structure, the arm can go too high. It will stop approximately here, and to get it higher, you will be forced to arch the lower back. We don't want that. So shoulders open at all time. One, you will have greater structure, spine neutral. When you're opening the shoulders, we don't want to do that at the expense of the spine. What it means? Often when we do the shoulders open, we start arching the lower spine. At no point we want to do that. You keep the spine tall, and now you can open the shoulders. When the shoulders are open, that will lead to the internal rotation of the elbow. Elbow is the sticky point of your arm here. So it will look like this. One. And yes, with the support position, like on the rings or L-seats, we do want the elbows to be turned in, but not because you do that using the rotator cuff muscles. We will need them for different purposes. The elbows are turned in because the shoulders are rotated this way in the open position. So at all time, when we rotate the shoulders this way, it rotates the arms out, which leads to the elbow being rotated in naturally. Now you can use the arms with good efficiency, good strength of your shoulders. That's number two. So we really want the shoulders to stay open. And the final part about the legs. Whenever you sit with the legs apart or legs together in the handstands, whatever, the thighs internally rotated. So we're using the inner thigh muscles to rotate the thighs in. Why we do that? It's a very interesting point, actually. The muscles we use for that are the inner muscles of the hips. They're attached to the portion of the leg here and to the pelvis in the front. When you rotate the thighs in, that pulls the pelvis into the neutral tilt, further improving our spinal stability. So when, let's say, you're here squeezing the glutes, that will push the pelvis into kind of extreme posterior pelvic tilt. With this posterior pelvic tilt, the hips will have no range of motion. The hips are closed. You cannot bring the leg sideways with the pelvis pushed forward. So that's why I want to make sure that the thighs rotated in. That will drag your pelvis into that nice neutral tilt, not anterior tilt. Anterior tilt, it's the over-exaggeration of the neutral tilt in the opposite direction. That's the anterior tilt. Essentially, it's arching. So we just want mild rotation of the thighs in to make sure that our pelvis is constantly in the neutral tilt. That will lead to a greater efficiency of your hip flexors. You will see it further on. The tricky point about this part, about the rotation of the thighs in, often when we rotate the thighs in, we rotate our ankles in as well, like this. One, that should not be the case. The ankles, they're independent structure, they have their own muscles, and we can easily rotate turn the ankles left, right, out or in using their own muscles, not the hip flexors. So the trick here is the following. When you're sitting here, you're pointing the toes forward and rotate them out like this. One. Now you have the gap here. And now, because you're rotating the thighs in, you're closing that gap. One. But you're still keeping the point of the toes forward and sideways, but thighs rotating in. So they're all together and you have nice structure. Now they're pressed to one another. You have very well put together legs with which you can do some stuff we're going to do today. Another thing about the legs, whenever the legs is going out, we want to perform the rotation of the thigh out and movement of the leg out with the toes still out. Now, when you return the leg, you want to rotate the thigh in, keeping the toe rotation, toe point out, and bring it in back. If you fail to do that, then it will look like this. Out is good, but in one, and the toes is pointing in, and you go here. So essentially you'll be doing this movement, which is not really cool. We don't need it. So it's a coordination task here. The legs are together, thighs in, toes out. The legs are going out, thighs out, toes out, thighs in, toes out, bring it in. And that's the movement of the thighs. So coordination, thighs, very important. Thighs turned in, toes turned out. So three things: spine tall, shoulders open, thighs turned in, toes pointed out. And another remark about the thighs in. Thighs in does not mean that you rotate the thighs in and bring the knees in and press against each other aggressively. Nope. The internal rotation of the thigh is not the same as internal movement of the leg in, because sometimes we can rotate the thigh in and move the leg in, or we can conversely rotate the thigh in and move the leg out. I know so many combinations here, but I will be reminding you about those things. So for now, thighs in. The thighs in means around their own axis. That's in, and that's not in. That's just collapsing the thigh in. See how the leg is going away from the axis of the rotation? We don't want it. We want to do it this way. So that's the internal rotation of the thigh, where you're keeping your toe point slightly sideways. 2, 3, and that's how you maintain very nice position. I'll be reminding you about this, no worries. Now, let's do some drills. And we will start with the casual stretch. Let's do the stretch, bike stretch. So sitting with the legs together, thighs in, toes out. Grab your ankles or the knees or here, whatever you feel comfortable with. We're going to stretch the hamstrings just a little bit. Typically, it's done by this movement. That's not so cool. So we really want to try to keep the spine as neutral as possible, but not torturing the upper back. not trying to go and straighten the upper portion of the spine. No, because if your base is still pushed forward, you're sitting on the glutes. That will be very, very taxing for your spinal muscles to extend the spine. It's not kind of possible. And on top of that, you'll be pushing it forward. We don't like it. So you sit here like this, thighs rotated in, toes out, and you're picturing the lower portion of the spine is pushing the floor away and out, extending the lower portion of the spine. 1. And that's how you get a good stretch. And we hold it for 30 seconds. In your head, you're constantly thinking thighs in, toes out, lower back reaching out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoulders open. You're not collapsing them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Rest. Done. Good. Give it a shake. We're going to do it one more time. Second set. As for the shoulders, very important here too, not to push the shoulders forward. We don't want to torture the spine a lot. We don't want to do it this way when you're trying to get more stretch by collapsing, by slouching. Nope, keep the shoulders as open as possible, spine as tall as possible with the lower back, thighs rotated in, toes out. And that's how you get the stretch. And eventually you'll be moving with the compression here further and further, placing the stomach on the laps. But we don't want the extreme stretch right now, just a light stretch in the hips, in the hamstrings. Let's do it one more time. Thighs in, toes out, shoulders open, lower spine reaching down. And hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, and done. Rest. One more time. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to push your spine into a completely upright position. No need. Mild slouch is fine, but again, through the resistance of the spinal muscles, you're trying to extend the lower spine, tiny bit of the upper spine. Yes, there is mild rounding in the back. That's okay for now. Next one. The other stretch, a mild variation of the pancake stretch. So let's do it this way. Legs away, apart, just like this. Remember, because the legs are apart, we want to rotate the thighs out and point the toes out. Great, that will engage your glutes a little bit. Now, tricky portion. We would typically sit in this position, sit on the glutes. So the glutes are not facing back, we're sitting on them. That means your pelvis is collapsed forward. Not cool. The point of the pancake stretch is to make sure that your pelvis can actually tilt forward in a neutral tilt all the way down to the floor, thereby pushing the legs kind of away, stretching the inner thighs. But with this position, with the pelvis forward, you're not going to achieve it. You're going just to simply torture the spine by doing this pancake stretch. This is by no definition as a pancake stretch. It's something but not pancake, because the pelvis still has no mobility, no flexibility developed for the pelvis to be mobile and rotate freely between the legs. And we want that ability. Just keep it in mind. So whenever you perform the pancake stretch, even mild variation, no need to go all the way down. You just first sit up yourself like this, thighs in, toes out, shoulders open. You can bring yourself up a little bit. And now with the lower back, reach back, reach down to the floor so that you can sit on the groin muscles, just like you would sit on a bicycle seat. So your glutes are open, facing this way. And you just maintain this position for 30 seconds. So let's do it. 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, spine tall, shoulders open, thighs out, toes out. Lower back is reaching down and slightly away. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, and done. Rest. Good. Let's give it some shake. Again, we don't want to push forward. Even if you don't go over the hips a little bit with the torso, you can stay here still. Just do this variation. You will still have some stretch. No need to bring the legs that wide. Maybe a little bit here. Whatever gives you a nice mild stretch here, but with all those cues in mind. Lower back reaching down to keep the spine neutral. Shoulders open, thighs rotated out, toes out. At all time when you're doing the stretch, you keep repeating those cues in your mind. You're not just relaxing. Let's do it one more time. Legs apart, up, reach back, reach down and slightly away with the lower back. You can try going slightly more forward, shoulders open, thighs rotated out. And 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. And rest. Great. Perfect. Let's move on. Let's warm up the hip flexors. By the way, compression strength means that we're going to demand the hip flexors to contract as aggressively as they possibly can to bring the upper leg as far up as they possibly can at this point of time. Hip flexors, by the way, what are those muscles? You might know it's the lower back muscles here. So the main group of the hip flexors, they're attached to the lower portion of the spine here. They go down at the bottom of the pelvis inside, and they're exiting here and attaching themselves to the very beginning of the femur bone here. And that's how, when they contract, they pull on the leg up. So iliacus, psoas minor, major, iliacus muscles, all those inner pelvis muscles. And the other supplementary hip flexors is one of your quad muscles. There is rectus femoris here. So this guy is a part of your quadriceps. And as opposed to 3 other guys which have no connection to the pelvis, this guy has. So 3 other guys that are attached, upper leg here, upper leg here. So their responsibility is to mostly straighten the knee. But their bigger brother, rectus femoris, is attached here to the tendon. It also helps you with the knee extension, but it attaches itself to the pelvis, to the top portion here. So when you engage this very strong muscle that pulls the pelvis here into the neutral tilt, more like this, with the ability to tilt the entire torso forward when the leg is on the floor. And vice versa, when you don't move the torso, this guy pulls on the leg, 1, and leg is going up. So the hip is flexing all together with these muscles. And interestingly, that's why we don't want to keep the lower back rounded, because again, the hip flexors are attached here, right? If you attempt to use these guys, they will be trying to contract, 1, but at the same time, you're pushing the lower back into the rounding position. So what you do by this, you're stretching those guys. Now it's incompatible with the functionality you're asking those guys to perform. You're asking them to shorten to pull on the leg up, but at the same time, you're pushing the spine into the rounded position, thereby stretching those guys so they have no strength. And that's why when you sit kind of in this position, 1, 2, 3, your leg is mostly going up, not because of the hip flexors, but because of the front part of the core is being engaged very aggressively to facilitate your desire and to substitute for the lack of the hip flexors functionality. The front core might grab your pelvis here, pubic bone here, and the rib cage here, shortens and push the pelvis forward, thereby getting the leg up. As a result, it feels very easy, but you're not really using the hip flexors in a very good way. You're just shortening the core pulls on the pelvis goes into the tilted position this way and gets the leg up. That's very easy. But if I were to straighten the spine right now, upper spine, lower spine, that's how high my legs would be. And that's how little I use the hip flexors in that activity. So we don't really want to use a lot of core. Of course, we're going to have some activation in the front core especially. It's going to facilitate the movement. But in the first place, we want to activate the hip flexors muscles. These guys and this guy. And for that reason, we want the spine to be as neutral as possible, so that those guys have a very good opportunity to shorten extremely, to compress the hip as hard as possible. And now, eventually, let's warm up the hips. So you're staying in this position here, thighs in, toes out, shoulders open, and straighten the spine. Make it neutral, especially the lower part, like this. And we will be getting the legs up and down all the way as much as you can, while maintaining the position of the spine. 1, 2, 3, 30 seconds, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, and done. Rest. Great. You notice how I was trying to keep my spine extended, not collapsing in the stomach, not making my belly button go in. We don't want it. We definitely don't want this. That's very easy because the core moves the pelvis that way, and the hip flexors have no problem working at only 20 capacity, delivering the elevation of the legs seemingly high, but it's not that high. So really focus on the spine tall while you're performing this movement one more time. And we really don't want to move the legs here. Don't think that you're lifting the feet up, otherwise you will be prone to bending the knees. Picture you're mentally grabbing the leg here, and just like with medieval castles, those gates with the chains, your chain is here, grabbing the leg, pulling the leg into the socket, and therefore the leg is going up. That's the perception. While the other guys here making sure that the knee is locked. The other three guys, which are not responsible for the hip flexion, but part of the quads, they're making sure that the knee is locked. So let's do it one more time. Shoulders, spine, thighs in, toes out, and go. Not too fast, all the way to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Done. Good. Perfect. Great job, everyone. Also notice my chin. I was not holding it here because your head, for whatever reason, is attached to the top of the spine and your head is heavy. In many cases, it's too heavy. The head will be dragging the upper spine into the slouch. That will be making the whole spinal alignment way more difficult than possible, than needed, maybe even not possible. So the chin is not here because you're extending the spine up away. The head as a part of the spine moves. The neck portion, the cervical portion of the spine, is continuing the rest of the spine. Therefore, naturally, you're looking up a little bit, not because you're here and you're going to torture the neck muscles to look up. No, straighten the spine, therefore up, shoulders open, and move the legs. Good, let's move on. I think you're warmed up, so now let's do the compression strength. Take it easy, one leg at a time. You can sit in this position, legs apart, but not too much. No need to go into the full split, especially for those of you who are flexible. Do not go into the full split. Just a little bit here, arms here, good, spine tall, pelvis, and just one leg at a time. Thigh rotated out, toes out, spine neutral, shoulders open, up and down. 1, 2, 3. Trying not to rotate the pelvis. Stay square. And go. 10 reps, 10-second hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. Good. Even if it does not leave the floor, it's okay. The effort matters, not the action. It might look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10 seconds effort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You still will be gaining the ability of the muscles to contract and pull harder, so no worries. Now let's do the other leg. Same idea, up and down. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest. Very good. Give it a shake. You might feel some cramping here. That's fine. You will get used to it. I mean, your central nervous system, the brain will get used to it, and you will regain more strength. Let's do it one more time. Both legs at the same time. 10 and hold 10. So go here one more time. We don't want to do it this way. 1, 2. There is no point of doing this. Yes, it looks kind of up, but you're tilting back completely, using a lot of core. No, we want to provide stable spine as possible. It's still rounded a bit, but it's okay. Shoulders not here, but open. Look straight ahead. Relax under tension, remember? And go. Thighs out, toes out. 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rest. Very good. Perfect. So by now you might feel extreme tension here. That's your hip flexors. That's where they're attached. That's what we want. Compression, bring the leg up. Let's move on. Similar idea, only the legs together this time, because the legs together, we're rotating the thighs in, toes pointed out. There will be no gap between the feet. If sometimes you still have the gap, it's okay. We have different anatomy, a little bit of the pelvis. Some individuals have wider pelvis, some individuals have narrow pelvis. It's okay, but just follow the main rule: thighs in, toes out, and whatever you have, all yours. So my knees are not really together. Some people can really bring the knees together. I can't. Keep it this way. Hands here on the fingertips. Again, try not to collapse the shoulders. Don't go too far. Stay by the knees. Very good starting point here. Lower spine reaching down a little bit. Upper spine tall. And you do the same thing. Legs up. 1, 2, 10 reps, 10 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rest. Very good. Even if they don't move, we don't care. The goal is not to move the legs by any means. Not really that. The goal is to engage the muscles in the proper way, and whatever yield they have, all yours. Very often it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine. In a couple of days after trying, you will see slight improvement here. 1, 2, 3. We don't want to sacrifice. We don't want to do this. 1 and 2 and 3. Don't like it. Hip flexion, pure hip flexion. Let's do it one more time. By the way, the scaling options here, if it's too easy, you can always go on the palms. 1 here. That's great. You can advance forward with the fingertips here, here, here. That's very difficult. Shoulders might collapse a little bit. It's fine. Or the palms here. Same thing. 2, 3. Difficult. That's the progression. How you can move forward with the difficulties. But for now, let's keep it at the average level. Fingers here. Thighs in, toes, spine tall, lower back, and go up. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Rest. Very good. Nice. No crunching, no shoulders, no leaning back. You're doing well. Let's move on. This one is a bit tricky, so we will go back to the straddle position. Legs sideways. It means sideways. It means that the thighs out, toes out. Same position here. Try to reach out with the lower back, upper back slightly extended. No need to go crazy. Shoulders back. Wrists in the neutral position means slightly sideways. Not like this, just the wrists here. Now we're lifting the leg up and we're drawing circles in the air. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 10. 1, 2, 3, 10. Same. 1, 2, 3, 10. 1, 2, 3, 10. Trying to keep everything square. Pelvis square, torso, shoulders. Not doing anything of this kind. So let's see how it works. And go one leg up. 1. Rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest. Very good. Same on the other side. At all time, thigh is rotated out, toes out. Even when you go in this direction, at all time, thigh out. Square pelvis and go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and done. Very good. We're going to do it one more time. So here we're using the compression strength of the hip while it's holding the leg up. We're using the circular movement to condition more hip muscles to perform some manipulations with the legs, making our hip muscles stronger. Very important point here, not to do this 2, 3, or not to twist here 1, or do something with the core that might not feel comfy. And if you have clicking hips, typically it's because the pelvis might get misaligned during this exercise. So if you leave the leg and pelvis turns this way, that might be not comfortable. So that's why we want to make sure that the lower spine is reaching slightly down. Compression strength, so that will glue the spine, the pelvis in that neutral tilt. Shoulders, all that, and should be more comfortable. Let's do it one more time. Thigh out, toes out, neutral spine, shoulders open, neutral wrist. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And done. Rest. Great. Often you might feel that one side is way better than the other side. It might be because the spine, your spine, likes crunch and twisting toward one side here. Lifestyle, habits, whatever. We need to really make sure that the spine is staying neutral, untwisted and neutral. I have a couple of videos on this. Check the gymnastics spinal stability workout and gymnastics flexibility splits, where I address the untwisted spine. There is a drill there, so that you're not sitting in this position, trying to do this, or in this position, or in this, or any other positions. So when the spine is twisted, the hip flexors can adequately work, with the same efficiency on both sides. Because spine twisted, pelvis is the part of the spine. Pelvis will be twisted this way and that way, inhibiting or increasing the capacity of one side at the expense of the other side. So make sure spine is untwisted, neutral. Next one. Now a couple of core exercises, progressive core exercises, to include the hip flexion into the core work, because we want the core work, spinal work, and hip work to be incorporated into one nice performance. So the next one is going to be easy. You are going to take the hollow body hold, this position, keeping the spine tall, thighs in, toes out, shoulders open. And from here, so not completely lying down, from here, we're going up, thighs out, toes out, touch the floor, engage in the hip flexors here, just like we did during the previous exercise, keeping them higher, together into the whole body. And we're going to do 2 sets, 10 reps, this fashion, at all times, spine tall, shoulders open. When you're here, it's not this position, it's not crunching, you're keeping the spine tall as much as you can while engaging the hip flexors, and the engagement of the hip flexors will help you to bring the entire spine up, since the hip flexors, some of them attached to the pelvis here. That will help you drag the pelvis into the upright position, and by extension the whole spine will go up, because you're keeping the spinal structure well put together, so you will go up. It's not really pure core exercise. When you do the slouched position 1, you will drop the legs. So let's see what it looks like. This position here, and 1, 2, 1. You can use the swing a little bit with the arms. 4, good. 5, good. 6, just to the point where you touch the floor. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and done. Rest. Very good. So the main point here, the main focus is on the hip flexors. Try to get it sideways and slightly up. So the legs are going a little bit sideways and up as a result, like 2 wings. Let's do it one more time. Shoulders not going forward, spine tall. One more time. Thighs in. And by the way, because the legs are going out, thighs in, toes out, thighs out, toes out, return in. Okay, let's try. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. Great. Good. Now we're incorporating the core work into the hip flexors work. Let's do the next one. Let's celebrate our success with clapping. So we're going to do a very similar exercise, similar position, but now legs are staying together, thighs in, toes out, spine tall, shoulders open. You go up into almost a V-sit, and try to clap under the knees. You can bend the elbows, but try not to bend the knees. Try not to crunch. Definitely not like this. That's not claps. And for the claps to be successful, you really need to bring the legs as high as possible. Compression strength to be able to do this clap without collapsing the shoulders. Let's do 10 claps and see how we can clap, celebrate our success. Let's go from this position. 1, good. 2, 3, thighs in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Good claps. It's okay if you don't hear any clapping in your case. That's fine. Do your best. You can bend the knees a little bit, just tiny bit. It's fine. But keep focusing on those things. Spine tall, shoulders open, thighs rotated in, toes out, leg one, kind of suck it into the hip, therefore up. 1, clap. Don't try to compensate the lack of hip flexion by trying to get higher with the torso, because it's a tricky part. The higher you want to go with the absence of the hip flexion, the lower the legs will go, because you will be collapsing them down. So you need to meet at the same point. Up, 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 leg, 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 clap. Let's do it one more time. Good shake. It's a little bit difficult. Thighs in, toes rotated out, pressed, hollow body, shoulders open, spine tall, clap. 1, 2, 3, good. 4, good, clap. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Perfect, everyone. No worries if you still round the back, it's okay. As I said at the beginning, it should be done through the resistance of the spinal muscles that are still trying to keep your spine neutral, maybe failing a little bit, but by trying, they still support you. Otherwise, if there is no spinal awareness there whatsoever, you'll be doing this. And it's very difficult to get up without the spinal stability. Next one. Let's spice it up. For this drill, we will need a couple of foldable mats like this. If you don't have them, you can use books, you can use parallel bars, whatever you have to elevate your body a little bit. We're going to do the hollow body to the L-sit while using our compression strength at the hips to keep the legs in the air. So it looks like this. Exactly the same cues we've been using this entire time. So it's here. Whole body, thighs in, toes out, shoulders open, neutral spine, good. And you go into the almost V-sit with the legs. 1, and down, 2, and down. So you're going to use the momentum you gain from your arms. You can swing the arms a little bit to keep the elbows locked almost. You can bend it if you cannot do that with the elbows straight, it's okay. But ideally, we would like to go up, up, up. Keep the spine tall, because spine tall, that gives you the elevation to place the straight arm on the mats or the books. And you use that momentum you have from the movement you started to kind of rock on top of the hands without collapsing the shoulders. Engage the hip flexors here to get the legs up, and hold the L-sit on these guys. So now it's not only about the strength, it's strength, power, coordination, balance. A lot of things at play here. So let's try to do 10. You don't have to be perfect. You just do your best. No one has ever done that movement perfectly from the very beginning, including myself. So do whatever you can, but watch those cues, very important. And those cues will bring you further development, not just paddling through the difficulty of the exercise mindlessly. Watch those cues. Try and fail, and that's how we become better. Let's do it one more time. One first set. Thighs, and go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Rest. Perfect. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is unachievable. It should be very close to perfect, good, but perfect is unachievable state. There is always a version which is better than the one you've done. Same focus here, spine tall, shoulders, thighs. Even when you go on the hands and the feet are staying on the floor, that's absolutely fine. Just do your best and eventually you will feel the elevation. The only thing I want you to be careful with is, often my students try to do this. They go here, they stop in here, trying to feel it, and now they push kind of forward. The whole idea here is not to stop in the first place because you're losing the momentum. Climb, rock on the hands, and by extension of the spine, see how now I'm crunched, by extending your spine, because your spine is airborne, it's suspended, it will go back a little bit. Suck and relax in, and that would be a good time to engage the hip flexors. 1, to get the legs a little bit off the ground. Okay, let's do it one more time. You can do 5, but I'm going to do 10. See how it goes. 10 reps. Thighs in and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Good. It's also a very good core exercise. We're almost done. 1 or 2 to go. Let's do it. Let's do a cool down. You're going to be down, you're going to look cool, therefore cool down. Let's take the L sit position, legs like this, all those things, thighs, toes, shoulders open, spine. And now you're just going to lift the legs a little bit, 1-2 centimeters off the floor. 1, 2, 10 reps, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and done. Rest. Great. 1 more set. Exactly same cues. Try to make sure that the pelvis is not going forward as you lift the legs, because there will be no lift. You want to extend the lower back, and because you extend the lower back down and slightly back, the spine will be there. No worries if it's rounded a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly arched, neutrally arched. We don't care about this. We care about an effort of keeping the spine tall. That's what matters. 1 more time. Shoulders open, wrists sideways. This here, and 1, 2, no swing, no tilting back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. Rest. Great. Good work for the hip flexors. And let's do the final one. The final one is a combination of stretching and still compression strength. So we'll put the mats further forward. And by the way, I got them from Amazon, $50 each, foldable mats. I don't know the brand any brand would do. So just check it out on Amazon. Legs here, it's tiny bit. Hands here. Rotate the thighs, point the toes, spine tall, shoulders in. Try to extend the lower spine as much as you can and hold it for 20 seconds. Some stretch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Done. And now we'll be trying to lift the legs 10 reps from this surface, trying to keep position as much as possible. But if you don't, you don't. Do your best, but keep in mind those cues. And go on the fingers, go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest. Good. And let's do a final set, and we will be done. So one more time. Stretch and lifts. This position, thighs out, toes out. Go here, try to extend the lower spine. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. And now 10 lifts. It can be just 1 millimeter. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. Rest. Perfect. Give it a shake. Great. Well, that was fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you got some muscle soreness here. Let me know if you did. Let me know what you think about these exercises. It's always good to know that I'm helping a bit. Please give me your feedback. And thank you very much for trying. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much, everyone. Trainer Maxim with you. Go enjoy your day. Bye-bye.